We have been talking a lot about the lines. We've been talking a lot about the lines. And we discussed the point of intersection with you, the last video. We also discussed much on line segments and vectors. I do remember I gave you some questions down there for you to answer. There was a question like, what's a line? We said it is a group or a collection of dots. A line segment has a start and an end. Array or a vector, we say that a vector will always have a start and has a direction. And we said when you're naming line segments, you must use two letters. For example, AB, AC, that is how to name a line segment. And we say that point of intersection is where lines meet. We say that point of intersection is where lines meet. And we agree that any point the lines come to meet or any point a body comes to meet is what we call the point of intersection. Now, today I want us to focus most on geometry part or figures. I want us to discuss figures. Now, on my table, on my board, you can see I've drawn a lot of figures. But now, to illustrate this, the figures, triangles are here, angles are here, quadrilaterals are here, and three-dimensional shapes are here. Now let's start with triangles. Now, triangle, I'm going to give you some tips that I want you to listen. A triangle is a shape with three sides. That's one tip that you need to put down. And I believe as you're listening to this video, you have a notebook, you're taking notes. And remember, this video is not for listening once. You should listen several times so that you can catch up with what I've just talked about. Let's move on. Now, a triangle is a shape which has three sides. But let us know how many types of triangles are there because they always come to your exam. Your exam will always ask which type of triangle is there, which type of triangle is drawn in the figure below. Now, the first type of triangle is this one, which we call a right-angled triangle. A right-angled triangle. Let me put a D here. A right-angled triangle. This is a triangle that contains a right angle here. So, as you look at it, that's a right-angled triangle. Here we have what we call scalene triangle. What is the property of a scalene triangle? The property of a scalene triangle is that no side is equal. What have I said? I've said that no side is equal to a scalene triangle. Next, number 2, Roman number 3. This is Roman number 1, this is Roman number 2, and this is Roman number 3. Now, this is isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. What is an isosceles triangle? An isosceles triangle is a triangle that has two sides equal. How do you know when two sides are equal? Look here, I've put some lines here and here to show that this side and this one are equal. And also, when you go to higher levels, you're going to be told this angle here and this one are equal. That shows what an isosceles triangle is. Roman number 4, we have equilateral. Roman number 4, we have what we call equilateral triangle. What is an equilateral triangle? It is a triangle that has all sides equal. You can see I've put some dots, some lines here to show that its sides are equal. But also, all the angles are equal. So these ones are also equal. So with triangles, those are the 4 major triangles that I want you to know in grade 4 that will help you in your NECTA exam. Let's go to the next part, which is types of angles. Angles, as you can see on the board, there are points that are in between two meeting lines. This is a section of two meeting lines. This line has come to meet with this one here. You can also say they are meeting at a point of intersection. So the first angle is the right angle, which is that one. I want you to record it in your mind. The second one is what we call acute angle. Now, what is the property of this right angle? The property of a right angle is that it has a 90 degrees here. This is what we call 90 degrees. The property of acute is that it is very small. It is very small. if you can say it, you can say the angle itself is less than 90 degrees. It is smaller than 90, that is acute angle. We have obtuse angle, which is bigger. It is larger than 90 degrees. It is larger than 90 degrees, but less than 180. So let me not go into details of less than 180, but what you know, it is bigger than 90, but somewhat less than 180. That's what you call obtuse. That's Roman number 3. Roman number 4, we have what we call reflex. Reflex is the one that we draw from this side. It looks like acute, but only that the curve is outside. Hope you've gotten me. Let's go to another part, which is quadrilateral. Quadrilaterals, sorry, spelling mistake here. Quadrilaterals, there is double N, then single T. Quadrilateral. Quadrilaterals are shapes with 4 sides. Quadrilaterals are shapes with 4 sides. So think of any shape in your head. You learn this in grade 2, in grade 1, and grade 6. In grade 3. You learn shapes with 4 sides. These shapes, you name them. They are also called quadrilaterals. In short, you can say they are called quadrats. Quadrats. They are also called quadrats. Quadrats and quadrilateral is the same thing. Which shapes are there? We have a rectangle, you can see it. We have a square, you can see it. We have a parallelogram, we have a rhombus. The difference between a square and a parallelogram is that, and a rhombus is that a rhombus is like a stepped-on square. For instance, if you step on this square when you make it, it will move to be this shape. If you step on this rectangle, it comes to be parallelogram. Can you try to say parallelogram? I didn't get you. Try it again. Parallelogram. Good. So parallelogram is this shape here that it looks like a stepped-on rectangle, and a rhombus is this that looks like a stepped-on square. These are quadrats. They have 4 sides. They have 4 sides. If somebody will ask you how many lines of segment do these shapes have, they have 4. You just count the number of sides. That is, they have 4 line segments. Lastly are 3D shapes. 3D shapes are shapes that we call 3-dimensional shapes that you can see nearly 3 sides of that shape. When it is just placed on the table, it is real, you know. So these are like real shapes. So 3D shapes, we have cylinder. Say cylinder. Good. Sphere. Can you say sphere? Cuboid. I didn't hear you. Say it loud. Good. Cone. Louder. Good. Prism. Louder. And pyramid. Louder. Good. So these are the 3-dimensional shapes. But I have not drawn one here. I want you to think and find out which one did the teacher not draw. There is one I have not drawn. So your assignment is to find out which shape did the teacher not draw, and you add it there. And also, on this other side, there is one I have not drawn. But you are the one to find out which one did the teacher not draw. When I come to the next lesson, I'll ask you. You tell me which one did I not draw. I really appreciate your time. I'll go through these very fast in a way that I want you to understand. Geometry, figures. The first one we talked about triangles. We have said triangles are shapes with 3 sides, which are right angle triangle, scaling triangle, isosceles triangle, and equilateral triangle. Next we came to talk about angles, and we said angles are a section of 2 meeting lines. And we said the point where they're meeting, we call it point of intersection. So these angles we say are right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle, reflex angle. Then quadrilaterals, we have said they are shapes with 4 sides. They're shapes with 4 sides. And we have said 1 is rectangle, 2 square, 3 3 parallelogram, 4 rhombus. And I've told you there is one I've not drawn. I need you to find out which one is this. And I'll ask you in the next lesson. Then finally, we have talked about 3D shapes. The 3D shapes are cylinder, sphere, cuboid, cone, prism, and pyramid. But there is one that I've not drawn that was to be here. I want you to find out which one is that. I appreciate that you are studying hard, doing the work that I sent on WhatsApp. And I believe you are finding that work for me to mark when you come back at school. Please, no matter the situation, all things are seasonal. So what does this one tell you? This season will go and another season will come. So, in any season that we are in, we need to prepare for the next season. So as we go through this season of Corona, prepare for the next season of winter, whereby we will be back in school. So make sure you do your work so that when we meet again, we don't look like we had done nothing. We start from a point where we have gone to. I love you too much. I believe you're going to do the work and revise more. This video is not for watching once, it is for watching several times for you to understand what the teacher has done. The best thing you can do, download the video, keep it in your phone or computer, listen to it several times, make notes and research more and more. Love you.